What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this video is my birth story video with baby number 2. I have a 3-week-old now. She's actually napping in the other room. See, that door is kind of like just open right there, so that way I can hear her just in case she wakes up. If she does wake up mid-filming, I'll bring her over here and show her to you guys, but obviously if she's sleeping, I'm not gonna go bother her. I'm so excited to share this video with you guys in case you wanna just get some information on what it's like going through labor and delivery the second time, or even if you're a first-time mom and just want to hear a birth story. I'm really excited to share this with you guys because it's very positive, and I really want to encourage other women that are about to deliver a baby, whether you're planning on doing it naturally or medicated or a C-section, just whatever. I'm just here to encourage you guys. So anyways, enough blabbering. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. So I also asked on Instagram, if you guys had any specific questions you wanted me to cover in this birth story video. So I'm just gonna answer just a few so this video isn't like 20-30 minutes long. I wanted to answer them before I get into the video because they're pretty good questions before I get into like sharing my birth story. First one I want to answer is, how did you go about creating a birth plan? Seems so overwhelming. I completely agree. It is totally overwhelming having a birth plan. So the way I do it is, honestly, I just go with the flow. I really did not have a birth plan. My only plan was to show up at my birthing center and have a baby. That's pretty much it. Only thing I would say I kind of like planned but not really is I planned to deliver in the water because that's what I did the first time and I enjoyed it. I know it's different for every woman. Some women hate delivering in the water or being in the tub. I personally very much enjoyed it and I feel like it really helped with my labor. My advice, I would say, is not to be so specific on creating a plan, because I'm sure a lot of us know, especially if you've already delivered a baby, is that creating a plan, it doesn't always go as planned. Just keep that in mind. I mean, I think just a good idea to go into the hospital or birthing center knowing that, you have some things in mind that you want to try doing during labor, but also be okay if your labor and delivery doesn't go as planned, because most of the time it doesn't. The next one is hospital or home birth birthing positions that helped. How long was labor? So I didn't do a hospital, but I didn't do a home birth. So I was actually at a birthing center, which is like doing a home birth. So I did it all naturally with midwives. It's not in a hospital. They have their own birthing center. I don't know what the technical name for it is, but I think it's called just like a birthing center. So that's what I did. And then for positions, honestly, it really is different because, let's say, for example, with my first baby, I delivered in the water, but the position I was in, I was leaning back, and that was the best position to deliver him. With her, that wasn't a good position at all. I actually delivered in the water, but I was on my knees. So it really just depends on each labor and delivery and each baby. So listen to your body and do what you think is best for you to deliver a child. And while I was laboring as well, the positions that I was in, I was walking actually most of the time because gravity, you're helping the baby move down further. And then I also sat down as well from time to time, and then I also was on a bouncing ball. Those are the 3 different things that I did, and I did that up until I was 7 centimeters dilated, and then that's when I went in the tub. And how long was labor? So my labor from start to finish was 6 hours, from the moment I had contractions to the moment I pushed her out. Okay, last question I'll answer is, how are you holding up your postpartum? Have you started losing weight? How is your diet and exercise? So how I'm holding up postpartum, I would say I'm doing really, really well. I feel like going through it a second time around is honestly a lot easier in a way. It's still hard, but I know what to expect, so I think that's what helps. I am emotional. I think that's pretty much expected every time you have a baby and you're going through postpartum. Like, just for example, yesterday I had like so many crying sessions, breakdowns. I was honestly just not having a good day for many reasons. Today I'm actually so much better. I curled my hair, I actually set up all my filming, and I'm now sharing my birth story. And I just want to point out that, like, if you're feeling like that, or you felt like that, or if you're going to feel like that after you have your baby, just remember that every single day is different. And oh, she's waking up. Okay, I'm back. Here she is. I just fed her and she's super snuggly and calm right now, very chill. So where was I just wanted to say, like, if you're going through it and, you know, if you experience a similar thing, just know that it gets better literally every single day, and don't expect every day to be perfect. There are days where it's going to be harder, but then there are days that is going to be a lot easier, and today is one of those days. Like, yesterday was a really hard day because my husband went back to work yesterday, and then I was all by myself with 2 kids, and today it's just it's so much easier. So just remember, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Every day is going to be different. No, it's not going to be perfect. Just find something positive in each day, and just take each day one day at a time if you're in the postpartum stage, because I mean, it does get better. So just wanted to encourage other mamas out there. And then the next part of the question is, have you started losing weight? Yes, I have. So I think I lost, like, I didn't lose very much when I delivered her. I think it was like 13 pounds. She came out at 7 pounds, and then whatever else was probably fluid and placenta. And then on top of that, I lost 8 pounds already. It's been like, I think, yeah, it's been like 3 weeks now. So I think some of that has to do with water weight, and then I have been losing actual weight. And I will make a video all about on my diet and exercise and my postpartum recovery and journey probably towards the end of August. I'll try to have that published just to share what I'm doing, where I'm at with my weight loss and things like that, and just share any tips and things that are helping me. So let me go ahead and just start chatting about the birth story. So I was having pre-labor contractions about a couple days before I actually delivered her. And it's, you know, obviously these pre-labor contractions are so annoying, because like, even going through it a second time, you're like, is this it? Is it going to keep going, or is it going to fizzle out? Is it going to get stronger? For me, it was just fizzling in and out. It was not consistent. I wasn't even tracking it, because I'm like, I'm not even going to put that time in right now, because I'm pretty sure this is, you know, false labor contractions. I had that with my son. I was kind of expecting to have it this time. So it was a couple days before I actually delivered, I was having pre-labor contractions. And then fast forward a few days, I was 40 weeks and 3 days at 6 o'clock, let's say 6 or 6:30. That's when contractions hit. Like, it wasn't really like it was coming every 20 minutes and every 15, every 10. It just like shabam, like hit me hard. It was immediately super strong, every 2 to 3 minutes, and that's just how it started. And that's how it started with my first baby too. So I kind of was thinking it was going to be the same way. So yeah, that's just how it started. At 6 to 6:30, just shabam, super strong contraction every 2 to 3 minutes. I called my midwife right away. I said, hey, I'm having really strong contractions already. They just started, but they're every 2 to 3 minutes apart, and they're really painful. And she said, you know, get over as soon as you can. Since it's your second baby, it's gonna probably go by faster, and you can get settled in and things like that. So my husband just immediately came back from work that day, and then my mom picked up my son. I have a 2-year-old, so she took him, and then we headed straight to the birthing center, to my midwives. And when I went there, we got settled in, and then they went to check to see how dilated I was. I think at like 7 was dilated to a 5. I was honestly so happy to hear that, because the contractions, they were painful, but they were totally manageable, like nowhere near like excruciating. I was honestly so happy. I almost cried, because I was really happy, because I knew I was already halfway there. I was going to start to get into the most painful part, which is being 7 to 10 centimeters dilated. I was honestly so happy. So for the first few hours, I mean, I was just walking back and forth, sitting on a chair or bouncing on a ball, and that was honestly really helpful. And that entire time, you guys, up until I got dilated to a 7, my contractions were totally manageable. It was not, honestly, I wouldn't even say they were like super painful. I mean, obviously, like, I had to breathe through it and, like, you know, kind of let my body do its thing. But, you know, as soon as it came and gone, I was totally normal, which was amazing. Not like what I had the first time. And it's so funny. My midwife said, so you probably should eat something, maybe something light, like a soup or something. But honestly, I was actually really hungry, because I haven't had, I don't think I had lunch that day just yet. And so I told Alex, let's just get Chick-fil-A. I really want a burger. And so it was funny. Then I was like, have something light, like a soup. And then I was like, oh, we just ordered Chick-fil-A, like DoorDashed it. And it was just funny because usually they recommend having something light because it can make you nauseous, but I wasn't nauseous. I ate my burger, my fries, I had a large lemonade, which was so delicious. So honestly, you guys, for that first part of my labor, I actually really enjoyed it, which is so crazy for me to say because, you know, obviously I didn't have any medication or anything. I was feeling all the pain, but it was honestly just really enjoyable. I would have my contraction, it would go away, and then I would talk with my husband, we would laugh, watch videos together, just kind of hang out, and it was honestly a really enjoyable experience, which I'm so thankful for. And then fast forward a few hours, I was dilated to a 7, I think at like, I don't know, maybe 11, I think at that point. I have to look back at like my medical documents, but I was dilated to a 7, and I was contemplating whether I should go in the tub just yet, because just from experience, I know when I went in the tub, I feel like it kind of slowed down my labor the first time. I think maybe because I went in it too early, so I waited till I was like in active labor, which I think is like being 7 centimeters dilated, and my midwife suggested, you know, you should go in because a lot of times it can actually help progress the labor, and she said I'm already so far along that she doesn't think it's gonna slow down. So I'm thankful she told me that, because so I went in, and you know, my contractions were, you know, not as intense, so it was a little bit easier to cope through them, but they were getting really painful and really strong. And there was this one contraction I had where, you know, contractions, they usually like they go up and they peak and then they drop and then you have your break. With this one, it just shot up, went from 0 to 100 just like that, and that's when I screamed, and that's when I literally felt her like drop. Like I literally felt her head just like slide down, and it was the craziest feeling ever, because with my first baby, it was just slowly pushing further and further down. With her, it just like dropped. I literally thought like she was gonna fall out of me. So I had like a scream. The midwives, it was so funny, they were all just chilling in there in the room, and they all just ran over to me and they got all this equipment and like started unwrapping stuff, and then like I had that contraction went away, and I told them, I was like, it's so funny how you guys know when the pushing stage is about to start because of like that yelling, that screaming that most women do. And she goes, yeah, it's because of your vocals. Like we can just tell like how you're progressing just by how you're coping through the contractions and whatnot. So I thought that was so funny, and my goal was to push her out before midnight. So my labor, I would say, let's just say it started like 6:30. My goal was to push her out before. She was born June 15th, and for some reason I just really wanted to like just go through it all before midnight. I didn't make it. She was born actually 12:15, so I was pretty close. And so I kept looking at my watch, which was so funny. Every contraction that I had, I kept looking at my watch, and the midwives were like, it's not a race, like let your body like just kind of relax. I was laying on my back in the tub, and you know, I'm like pushing, but see, I was pushing too early, which was weird. And the midwife said, let me check to see how far dilated you are. She checked, she's like, you're 9 centimeters, so switch positions, and that's gonna get you probably to a 10 like that. So that's when I moved to my knees. I felt her drop even more with another contraction. It was like so painful. I mean, this is the point where I was screaming. It sounds intense, you guys, but honestly, like, I mean, it was a wonderful experience, which is so weird for me to say. But anyways, you know, that's the point where I was screaming, and then my water broke, and then I did one big push, her head came out, second push, she just slid right out. So, and that's when she came out 12:15, and she was weighed 7 pounds, 19.5 inches. So that's literally the whole birth story. It honestly went by so fast. It is 100% different compared to my first labor. Like, I look back at my first labor and I cringe. I'm like, oh, that was so painful. It was honestly really, really hard. With her, I was like, you know what? I can do this again. Like, totally fine. You know, because once I got to the really, really painful part, that part was so short. I think maybe like an hour or less. Nathan, my first baby, it lasted 4 hours. So it was, you know, painful, but honestly, I could easily do it again our bodies are amazing and so strong, and I just want to encourage you guys, whether you're delivering your first, second, third, fourth baby, whatever number you're at, you know, you got this. Whether you're doing it naturally, C-section, medicated with epidural, either way, whatever your plan is, you totally got this. I think we're strong no matter how we deliver our babies. I mean, just the fact that a child is coming out of us is kind of crazy to think about that. But that is my birth story. I feel like I'm just rambling on and on and on. So if you guys have any like additional questions about, you know, anything with my birth story, labor and delivery, you know, just leave them down in the comment section down below. I'm gonna try to answer them for you guys whenever I get a chance. If you happen to be new at all, consider subscribing. My channel is mostly about fashion and lifestyle, and I also do like 1 or 2 videos a month related to like mommy and baby things, but majority of my channel is about fashion and style. So hope you guys enjoyed hearing my birth story. Again, leave any questions that you have down below, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!